The financial house of cards collapses, and the overinflated stock market plunges into a Great Depression. A financial panic grips the world. For the majority, it means the interminable line outside factory gates, desperately hoping for a job that rarely comes. It means hunger and the march of the unemployed in the nation's capital. With acute domestic problems, America would now isolate herself more than ever from the international scene. It started in America, but practically overnight an economic blizzard swept the world. In Japan, France, Britain, always the unemployed, the soup kitchens, the grinding poverty, and the despair.
1929. The stock market crashes, banks fail, millions lose their jobs. The world plunges into the worst economic crisis in modern history, the Great Depression. Could it happen again? Let's find out. The Great Depression was the most devastating economic collapse in modern times. It started with the Wall Street crash in October 1929, but that was just the beginning. As banks failed and businesses collapsed, unemployment skyrocketed, reaching 25% in the US. Global trade shrank, inflation surged, and millions struggled just to survive. But what caused this economic disaster? History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it often rhymes. Today, we face many of the same warning signs that led to the Great Depression. Stock market bubbles. Just like the speculative frenzy of the 1920s, modern markets have seen extreme booms and busts, from the dot-com bubble to the housing crisis. When speculation outpaces real value, a collapse is inevitable. Banking system and debt crisis. Bank failures played a major role in the Great Depression. While we now have safeguards like the FDIC, high national debt and risky lending practices could still lead to another financial disaster. Technological disruptions. Unlike the 1930s, we now face an automation revolution. AI and robotics are replacing millions of jobs. Could this lead to a new kind of economic depression? Global trade wars, geopolitical turbulence, and inflation. During the Great Depression, the US passed the Smoot-Hawley tariff, igniting a global trade war that worsened the crisis. Today, rising inflation, geopolitical conflicts, and unsteady government policies threaten to create a similar downward spiral. Climate change and pandemics. Unexpected disasters can trigger economic crises. The Dust Bowl worsened the Great Depression. More recently, COVID-19 disrupted supply chains and economies worldwide. Future pandemics and climate disasters could bring similar instability. What's different now? Despite these risks, we are better prepared than we were in 1929. The government now actively intervenes through stimulus packages, interest rate adjustments, and safety nets like Social Security and unemployment insurance. Global economies are also more interconnected, making a total collapse less likely, but not impossible. Lessons from history. The Great Depression taught us valuable lessons. Strong financial regulations, diversified economies, and responsible governance are key to preventing another crisis. But will we apply these lessons before it's too late? So, can another Great Depression happen? While history warns us of the risks, it also reminds us that we have the power to prevent economic catastrophe. What do you think? Could it happen again? Let us know in the comments below.